Hey, this is Miko. I'm taking out today a new Nissan to show you how the ProPilot Assist works. Basically, it's the Nissan name for the adaptive cruise control. I've tried it a little bit just in preparation for the video. The system is really easy to use. It is simple. It doesn't do some things that some other systems do, like it doesn't do lane changes, for example. But it works really well. It's pretty safe, and what's great is that it's available on a lot of different models and at low entry points, like on the Rogue SV. This is a Pathfinder SV, and it's available on a lot of different cars. So we're 1 block away from the freeway. Basically all your controls are right here. Really simple. You have the cruise control. This is the button that activates all the systems. So it's off and then it's on, and you can see on the driver display it shows you that everything is ready. Other buttons right here, you have the set button, resume. This is also where you adjust the speed, and one extra button that's not here, it's on the left side of the dashboard. That's the steering assistance, because the system includes steering, and here's where you can turn it on and off. So we are getting on the freeway, and I'm just pushing set, and the system is active. Right now it picked up at the speed that I had, 42 miles. I'm gonna raise it up. So if I push this button, this up here for the plus once, it goes up, the speed, the set cruise control speed goes up by 1 mile. If I push and hold it, it's gonna be going up in 5 mile increments. So right now we set at 50 miles an hour. I'm gonna ramp it up to, so let's go to 80. 80 is good. And you can already see, like, if you can just film the road a little bit. So we're cruising at about 55 miles an hour. Now, if you hear this sign, this noise, that tells you that the steering assistance, there's a chime when it turns on and off. And the system is pretty sensitive, which means I cannot just, well, sometimes I can. If I just hang my hand on the steering wheel, it's enough for the system to work. Because the way it's set up, you have to have your hands on the steering wheel for it to work. If I let go of the steering wheel, and I'm going to show you, in a few seconds, it should turn on. For now, it's actually working. So we're cruising. There we go. So now it's the warning. It tells me that it's off, and I put my hands back on the steering wheel. So that's basically, this is all it takes for the system to work. So I set it at 80 miles an hour. We're cruising at about 60. I can play, let's see. So let's do a lane change to go faster for now. So when you turn on the turning signal, it turns off the steering assistant. And now it's back on because my hand is on the steering wheel and the lane markings are good enough. There's one more control, it's right here. This is where you can adjust how close you are to the car in front of you. So there are 3 positions. This is the closest, furthest, and one in the middle. So let's just leave it in the middle for now. So that's basically all it takes. It steers, it controls. You can see in real life how smooth it is. It picks up pretty well, and it's really simple. And when I did this for the first time, it took me like a minute to figure this out. But again, these are all the controls you have. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons for everything that this car can do. And let's do more lane changes. So right now we're cruising at about 60. There's a car in front of us. Let's see, I just want to do something interesting. Okay, well, we're going to exit soon, so I'm going to change the lane towards the exit. Kind of slows down. So now this car is jumping in front of me, and you can see, like, on the display, it jumped and showed that there's another car. So you see this display actually shows you if there are cars in the front, which could be great at night driving. And we're going to exit on the next exit. And let's just see how it goes. And I'm going to try to squeeze it to the max. I'm going to try to go off the exit on the cruise control without doing any other changes. So we change the lane all the way to the far right lane, and that's it. Everything's working. maintaining safe distance from the car in the front. Let's make it shorter. And now it's going to be interesting. Again, like some things we cannot control. I don't know how the traffic is going to be, but we're going to see what happens if the car in front of me just stops. And spoiler alert, this car will stop too. If it's abrupt, you know, I'm not gonna risk an accident. I will engage the brakes, but you can really test it quite well. And another thing that happens, like when I tested it on city streets, when you try to turn on cruise control, it turns off. When the street markings are not good, lane markings are not good, it turns off like the steering assistance. And so the system is not going to let you do anything crazy. You know, it's not a Tesla where you can fall asleep and drive. So while we're talking, you see this car slow down for the exit. And we actually need to change a lane. Let's do that. Okay, change the lane. There was a car in the blind spot. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so this was too fast for, you know, for the safety of the driving, so I engaged the brakes, and right now it's off. But we're going to get back on the freeway. Just gonna do leave turnaround, and I'll show you. We'll do it again. Okay, so we're back on off ramp, I guess. Accelerate a little bit, turn on the system, and I'm just gonna hold the accelerate, change the speed, and I'm holding it until I got to 80 miles an hour, and that's it. So the beeping you hear, it was when the car gets confused when lane merge, so it gives you warnings here and there, and I find it useful. It lets you know what's going on around you, so you can pay attention. And so right now we're cruising at about 70. See the car in front of us, safe distance, not too far, so somebody can still cut me off, which is okay, but I'm pretty close to the car in front. And let's see, what else we're going to try. Let's try to go faster. So change the lane. It beeps when the steering system engages. Okay, so what was happening, I got off a little bit off the lane, and the lane assistance kicked in, but we're cruising. A little bit of the noise we have, that's the dealer plate, so I apologize for that. Let's see what else can we do. And just to show you, if something happens, if you're feel not safe, touch the brake, just literally touch it, that's it, it's just engaged. Turn back on, turns back at the speed where I'm at right now. Let's accelerate to higher speed. 75 is good enough, and we are again cruising. Now let's see what happens if I accelerate. So if I touch the gas, it lets me accelerate. And then when I take off my foot off the gas, it goes back to the safe distance, so it slows you down. And I know it's hard to tell when you're watching the video, but the car is steering itself. Right now, when the lanes are good, markings are good, I have one hand on the steering wheel, that's all it takes. Alright, so where are we? One more exit, and we're going to exit the freeway, and I'm going to do a little bit of the test of this on the street, because it still works on the street, and it's something you can use in traffic. Again, as long as you're not veering off lanes and you're not turning, and otherwise it works really well. Probably see, like the only better system I tried, the new BMW X5, has a better system. It's probably a little smoother, and what's really nice, it also can change the lane. You just push and hold the turn-in signal, it checks the distance and it changes the lane for you. So that's nice. This Nissan system doesn't do that, which is okay. Again, for the price point that you get, it's fine. And by the way, this is the same, like you can see, controls look really similar to Infiniti system. So Infiniti, whatever model it's offered on, it'll be pretty much the same. Okay, so we're coming up on the exit, and I'm going to try to merge into the exit lane while still in cruise control. Okay, and you see totally safe. The car smoothly slows down, no problem, picks up the lanes, and the steering system engages as well. And we're about half a mile from the exit. Pick up speed because the truck in front of us left. So it's picking up, smoothly picks up. Now it's kind of like coasts at appropriate, cruises at appropriate speed, and we're going to exit. So let's see what happens. One thing to remember, the system works based on the car in front of you. So it's not going to recognize stop signs or lights. But you see right now it's turning, so the car turned fine. Cruise control system works, and we have a red light, which is perfect. Okay, so you see the car almost stops, but these cars kept on moving, and right now you see that's it. The system disengages because it recognizes the turn, and it does not work on the turn. So now we're going straight. I'm going to turn it back on, accelerate to 40 miles an hour. And now we're just on a city street, and let's see what happens. So there's a red light. I'm not touching the brake, okay? Not touching the brakes. This is what happens. This car slows down. It still crawls. It keeps crawling towards the car in the front. And eventually it's going to stop. Okay. And now what's going to happen is, right now there was a disclaimer, like a note. There we go. It says resume plus to follow the vehicle ahead. What it means is right now I'm not holding the brake. Okay, the car's in drive. Automatic brake is not engaged. I'm not holding the brake. Okay, the car just holds itself. And what's going to happen is once this car goes, all I need to do, I have to push it to RAS plus, resume plus, which is going to happen right now. And we're off. Again, my foot is nowhere, I mean, it's close to the brake for safety. It is not touching the brake. And let's try this again. Again, red light. And it slowly crawls. It keeps crawling as much as possible until it stops. Okay, so now it stopped. Everything's working fine. I did not touch the brake, did not touch the gas. And again, right now, once the car in front of me moves, I'm going to push this button up. Come on, guys, let's go. And we're off. And that's basically it. That's the functionality. As you can see, it's really easy. It's affordable. I don't commute far right now. When I had to commute 20-25 miles per day, I made sure that the car that I had adaptive cruise control. I ordered it specifically for that feature, and it just changes your commute, changes the driving experience. You don't have to be as cautious. You don't have to steer the car in front of you. You still have to be safe. You still have to pay attention on what's going on, but it really changes how you view your commute, and your perception of the drive and experience in the car changes. That's it. Thanks for watching.